This is Terrence Andre Banks with Information Age Financial Solutions coming to you about malls and actually mall owners handing over keys to lenders before they even default. Found this fantastic article, Zero Hedge. I've done a number of articles about the collapse of retail, and even though it's not getting that much coverage, it's still a huge factor because it's dealing with real estate. And I did a video before about real estate and probably do some more because real estate is a primary factor in terms of how the strength of your economy. And with these mall spaces, it really stands a bit of trouble because a lot of hidden funds are dependent on them. So let's dive right into the article. As always, I'm going to put a link inside the description. Things are getting worse. Mall owners hand over the keys to lenders before they even default. For years, traditional malls around the United States have been in a state of partial or full collapse thanks to the Amazon effect, deteriorating conditions, bankrupt or cash bleeding tenants, with some even transforming into homeless shelters as the retail industry evolves. I did a video on that in Alexandria, Virginia. In other words, Bloomberg writes, things are getting worse for malls across America. So much worse, in fact, that their owners are simply walking away early from struggling properties, a trend that has sparked fears and material losses among mortgage bond investors. Investors in and lenders to malls across America are bracing for the fallout from the disappearance of the brick-and-mortar subsector of the industry. With the recent bankruptcy of retail giant Sears, mall operators are continuing to see accelerating defaults in the wake of numerous other retail bankruptcies from stores like Bon-Ton, Wet Seal, and Radio Shack, and many others, resulting in abrupt declines in rental and lease payments. Again, real estate is primary to the economy. It's one of the driving factors, and this is why this article is so important. And again, even though it's not getting, what I like about Zero Hedge, they cover op-eds and different aspects to show you things that we need to pay more attention to. Because a lot of pensions, believe it or not, and insurance companies are dependent on these malls. They were dependent on these malls because these was considered as no default primary real estate at one time. And amid the ongoing collapse in which was once a stable source of shopping and entertainment for middle America, many mall owners are simply turning over the keys to lenders even before their lease is over. According to Bloomberg, that puts the loan servicing companies in a position to either try to run the properties themselves or to turn around and sell them if they can't make the debt payments. The new owners of the commercial mortgage-backed securities in turn end up facing the consequences of themselves. Now, bear with me, Zero Hedge has a lot of advertisement, so it makes it just a lot harder just to kind of read through the article, but it's still chock full of good information. So just bear with me as I kind of scroll down and get back to the article itself. Again, I'm going to put the link in the description, so whatever I miss or I skim over, you're able to take a look at it in your leisure. While much of the noise surrounding the big mall short, which dominated 2017 airways, has faded, the number of mall loans issued since the financial crisis that identified as highest risk has almost tripled to 29 this year, and the consequences are becoming painfully visible. The Washington Prime Group REIT last month simply gave up on 2 malls in Kansas where the loans had either defaulted or were close to default. This month, Pennsylvania REIT announced that it left a mall in Wilkes-Barre that also had a loan ready for default. The Pennsylvania REIT is considering abandoning another mall in Wisconsin for the same reason. Wow, imagine a whole mall you're giving over the keys because you can't make the payments. It's just a fascinating time in history. Denningstein, head of commercial leasing of Atlanta-based Angel Oak Companies, told Bloomberg that many small towns malls are no longer being included in CMBS packages. These are value mall in LA that it is in Sheboygan, he said. We talk about these malls all day long. We have not seen any of these malls in the CMBS lately and don't expect to, frankly. Meanwhile, even though the delinquency rate right in the commercial mortgage-backed securities market is at post-crisis lows now, the pain will likely take a couple of years to show up due to maturities that won't occur for several years. It's worth repeating this. A lot of times, again, it's even though the reporting on it, you see these massive aspects of it, it just takes a while for it to come in the sector to really start hitting fact. So just expect this in the coming years. According to Payne, stores leaving the malls often cause a waterfall effect because of co-tenancy clauses that are included in many small leases. Many small mall leases. The clauses mean that if there aren't enough tenants in a mall at a given time, other tenants have the option to leave. So when a major anchor store company like Sears closes a bunch of stores, it can trigger clauses releasing other stores from their contractual leases. It's just a domino effect when you have that, further hitting the mall and its creditors. Still, not all investors see this as Armageddon. The Gallery at Pittsburgh Mills was seen as an investment opportunity by New York-based the Modern Realty Group and Mason Asset Manager, who bought the property for $11.35 million early this year, and it once was valued at $190 million in 2006. Even when somebody else's crisis is someone else's opportunity. Before it was packaged to a commercial mortgage-backed securities pool. Stephen Plenge, managing principal of Pacific Retail, is another optimist who sees today's climate as opportunistic. His firm has taken over at least 2 malls that have been returned to lenders, and after the defaults, he probably got them at great discounts. He told Bloomberg, "We think this sector, the serving business, will get bigger for us. There will be more defaults, more foreclosures." Again, because again, these are prime locations, and listen, you can repurpose them, and you can get them at the cheap. It makes sense for you to do so if you can able to handle that, or you can find yourself again in the same situation the people who the prior owners were in. But again, we haven't had the correction yet, and this correction could be bigger than 2008. So it's worthwhile to pay attention to this and keep seeing. We agree, in fact, at the beginning of October, we noted that mall vacancies had hit 7-year highs, and according to a Washington Journal report, the average rent for malls in the third quarter fell 0.3% to $43.25 a square foot. This is down from $43.36 in the second quarter, and it's the first time this number has fallen sequentially since 2011, according to research from Reese Incorporated. At the same time, vacancy rates on the asset rising to 9.1% in the third quarter from 8.6% in the second quarter, and the highest they've been since the third quarter of 2011, which these rates hit 9.4%. Barman Decker and senior economist of Reese told his journal, "The retail sector is still correcting, and as long as ever more people continue migrating to online retailers, it will be correcting for years." Again, I kind of glanced over this. Take a look at this article. It's worth paying attention to. I'm going to put the link in the description, as I mentioned. If this video has been any value to you, please subscribe, leave some comments, and as always, until my next video, I'm out.